Hi everyone, this is Pastor Amy from the Park Church Co-op bringing you the fourth installment of my weekly video newsletter. I had hoped to get you this newsletter yesterday, and in fact I actually did a draft video, but I just wasn't happy with the end product, partly because I didn't feel like myself yesterday. I was feeling discouraged and stressed, anxious, and self-doubting. I think partly it's because I'm coming to you at the end of a really long week with a lot of work and a lot of tasks to get done. And also I'm coming to you at the end of a long 6-month stretch without vacation. I'm happy to say that next week I will be taking some vacation time, but that also meant that this week was filled with even more tasks to get done in preparation for that time off. I was thinking about this because I think that it is the number one sin of our society, and certainly of our hectic workaday city, that we believe that fruitfulness comes from just a relentless pushing forward and, not stopping until we get an end product, and that productivity is the number one virtue. I was thinking about this as I was preparing for my sermon on Sunday morning, and as I was reading the text for that day, in which Jesus says, "I am the vine and you are the branches," and invites people just to abide in him and abide in God. This image of the vine and the branches made me think about connections to what is life-giving. That it's almost as if the vine is this main source of life-giving energy, and that the branches being plugged in and connected to that source allows them to rejuvenate and produce fruit from that life-giving source. But that without that connection, they would just wither and die. I think about Sunday mornings personally as a time where I can reconnect to sources of life-giving energy. When we gather at 11 a.m. on Sunday morning, it's my chance to connect with God, but also with people that I love and care about, and that I know care about me. And so I invite you, as you think about your own life and how you spend your time, or how you where you devote the most energy, that maybe you can find places and set aside time to reconnect, to find those sources of life-giving energy. Maybe that's your friends that you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe it's getting together with family and making time to do some special things together, or maybe it's a community group that you are a part of. Maybe it's a church or a synagogue or another faith community. But to really be intentional about making those connections that will help us ultimately be more fruitful, rather than just thinking it's all about us just pushing forward and getting things done and being all things to all people. On New Year's Eve in 2016, I was invited to hear confessions in one of the local bars. And it was one of the most interesting experiences in my ministry here in Brooklyn. The organizer had set up a little confessional booth out in the backyard at the bar and invited patrons of the bar to sign up for time with Pastor Amy. It was really moving to me that people sat in that booth and shared with me their deepest struggles and their pains. But one person in particular, I'll never forget, this person got in the booth with me and started talking at first about more theological things. And at first I thought I was going to get sort of trapped in a debate about whether God exists, or have to kind of defend my work as a pastor or whatever. But what it turned into was actually something really beautiful, and I was honored that this person shared this story with me. He was about my age, in his 30s, and he shared that he had come to New York to pursue his career and to pursue his passions, and that by all accounts he had been successful in that he had done the work that he wanted to do, and his career was going well. But what he had to sacrifice in order for him to produce these results was that he had lost community. He felt like he never had time to spend with the people that he valued most, that he cared about, his friends or his family. and that he was really searching for those sources of community that that he really felt like he was missing, and this was a deep pain for him. By the end of our conversation, I felt like we had developed kind of a rapport together, and so I felt like I could kind of joke a little with him, and I said, well, this is where I invite you to come to church. I knew he wasn't really a church person, so I knew it was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but the reality is that that is what faith communities do provide, is this source of a place to reconnect, to kind of step outside of the world and its noise, and to just come together and abide together. And as I am facing my own struggles this week with these feelings of just like stress and being overwhelmed, I really am living into that invitation of Jesus to just abide. It seems like such a welcoming, just such an inviting and peaceful thing to just be able to be in the world, to just be without having to produce something, to just be myself, and to try and reconnect with those sources of life for me, connect with God and connect to the people that matter most. So that's what I encourage you to do this week, to find just even a small amount of time, whether it's 15 minutes, maybe you'll have the luxury of an hour or even a day, to set aside some time where you can shut out, to prune away the things that are clamoring for your attention, but that aren't ultimately a source of life for you, so that you can connect or reconnect with those people and those things that are that will help you move forward in ways that will actually be more fruitful and more life-giving to you, but also allow you to be life-giving to the world. I welcome you to join us on Sunday mornings, where we do have a community there where people are welcome to come and to be in a safe and loving environment. And I also welcome you to be part of the conversation here in the comments. I welcome you to share your thoughts with me, to share your questions or the things that you're struggling with. I hope that you find that time and you find that source of life this week. God's peace be with you.